Hey everyone, I bet we've all daydreamed about it,
Yeah.
making money online. But
Yeah.
wouldn't that be
Right,
amazing
though.
to have a steady stream of passive income coming in
Right?
while you're, sipping your morning coffee,
Hmm.
or even better, like lounging on a beach somewhere?
Oh, yeah. The allure of passive income is definitely strong. I mean, who wouldn't want that, right?
Right,
Financial freedom and the flexibility to, work on your own terms.
exactly. And that's why I was so intrigued when I came across this system called Emerald AI.
Hmm.
Have you heard of
I
this?
have, yeah.
So this system is claiming to do something, I mean, kind of incredible, right?
Yeah.
It says it can create and manage entire YouTube channels that generate revenue,
Yeah.
all on autopilot.
Wow.
I mean, it sounds almost too good to be true, right?
It's definitely a bold claim.
Yeah,
And as with any system that promises to, kind of automate your path to wealth, it's important to approach it with a healthy dose of skepticism.
absolutely. And that's
Okay.
exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to break down what Emerald AI is all about, look at its potential benefits, and also highlight any red flags that we need to be aware of.
Yeah, a key point to remember is that while there are, genuine success stories on YouTube,
For sure.
people who have built substantial businesses and earned significant income, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Right.
It takes time, effort, and a deep understanding of the platform.
Right. And that's where Emerald AI claims to come in, saying that their system can essentially shortcut that process
Right.
by using artificial intelligence to do all the heavy lifting for you.
Right. And this is where we need to start asking some critical questions.
Okay? Yeah.
How realistic is it to expect AI to create engaging, high-quality content
Yeah.
that can compete with, what human creators were producing?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know that AI is getting more and more sophisticated, but can it really replace the creativity, personality, and human touch
Yeah.
that make YouTube videos so compelling?
That's one of the key questions we need to explore.
Yeah.
Another thing to consider is how effective are AI-driven traffic generation strategies?
Yeah.
Can they actually be effective?
Yeah.
The source material claims that Emerald AI will tap into YouTube's massive user base, but it's very vague on the specifics of how that will happen.
Yeah. They talk about driving unlimited free traffic to your videos, but it's not clear how they achieve that.
Right.
Is it through some secret algorithm,
Yeah.
targeted advertising? We need more details to understand how realistic these claims are.
And this lack of transparency is something to be wary of.
Yeah.
When evaluating any system that promises to automate your income, you need to look for concrete details, not just vague promises and hype.
Right. And speaking of hype, the source material definitely doesn't shy away from using some classic marketing tactics to try and get you excited.
Mm-hmm.
We see a lot of bold claims like $349 per day and escape the rat race.
And there's a lot of emphasis on urgency and scarcity, with limited time offers and countdown timers. These are all designed to trigger impulsive decisions and make you feel like you're missing out if you don't act fast.
It's like they're trying to bypass our rational decision-making process
Yeah.
and appeal to our emotions.
Exactly. And this is where we need to be extra vigilant and engage our critical thinking skills.
The source material also bombards you with images of luxury vacations, piles of cash, and successful YouTubers, as if to suggest that using Emerald AI will inevitably lead to that kind of lifestyle.
That's another common tactic, using association to create a subconscious link between their product and images of wealth and success. But remember, there's no evidence that Emerald AI itself has produced those kinds of results for its users.
And then there's the bonus overload. You get access to all these extra tools, training programs, and even exclusive mentoring.
Right.
It's almost overwhelming.
The sheer volume and perceived value of these bonuses can be distracting.
Yeah.
It's important to ask yourself, are these bonuses actually valuable to me? Do they align with my goals?
Right.
Or are they just there to create the illusion of a fantastic deal?
So we've seen some pretty enticing claims and some potential red flags. But what I'm really curious about is how Emerald AI actually works.
Let's dive into that next. The source material does provide some insights into the system's features and functionalities, although it's still somewhat vague on the details.
Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts here. How does Emerald AI actually claim to work?
Yeah.
One of the things they emphasize is that you don't need any prior experience to use the system. They say it's totally newbie friendly. Anyone can use it.
Right.
even if they've, like, never created a YouTube video before in their life?
That's a common selling point for these kinds of systems,
Oh,
the
yeah.
idea that you can achieve success without any prior knowledge or skills.
Yeah.
But it's important to remember that building a successful YouTube channel,
Yeah.
even with the help of AI, it still requires, a basic understanding of how the platform works, what kind of content resonates with audiences, and how to, engage viewers and all that.
Right. You can't just expect to press a button and have a money-making channel, like, magically appear overnight.
No, not at all.
Speaking of buttons, Emerald AI does claim to have a one-click video creation process.
Oh, wow.
They say that their AI can generate entire videos complete with scripts, voiceovers, and even visuals based on just a few simple inputs from you.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. While AI has made significant progress in content creation,
Oh, yeah.
especially in generating text and simple images,
Yeah.
creating engaging video content, the kind of content that can really hold a viewer's attention is still a very complex task.
Yeah, I'm a bit skeptical about how creative and, like, original these AI-generated videos can actually be. The source material mentions that Emerald AI comes with over 100 pre-made templates.
Okay.
But if everyone is using those same templates,
Yeah.
wouldn't that lead to a lot of repetitive and generic content?
That's a valid concern. And it raises another important question. How well do these AI-generated videos align with YouTube's algorithms?
That's a good point, yeah.
We know that YouTube prioritizes high-quality, original content that provides value to viewers.
Right.
If your channel is filled with generic, template-based videos,
Yeah.
it's unlikely to gain much traction.
Right, it might even get flagged by YouTube as being, like, low quality or spammy. Or
Sure.
Another big claim they make is about traffic generation.
Okay.
They say that Emerald AI can drive unlimited free traffic to your videos from various sources.
This is where we need to be particularly careful.
Okay.
While there are legitimate ways to drive traffic to your videos, such as optimizing your content for search, using social media effectively, and collaborating with other creators,
Right.
any system that promises unlimited free traffic should raise red flags.
It sounds a bit too good to be true. Right? There's no magic button to make your videos go viral.
Exactly. And even if they are using some legitimate traffic generation methods, the effectiveness of those methods will depend on a variety of factors, including the quality of your content, your niche, your target audience, and your overall marketing strategy.
So it's not as simple as just plugging your channel into Emerald AI and watching the views pour in.
Yeah.
You still need to understand the fundamentals of YouTube marketing and put in the work to create content that people actually want to watch.
Absolutely. And that brings us back to the importance of being a critical consumer.
Yeah.
Don't just take their word for it.
Right.
Look for concrete evidence to support their claims.
Exactly. We need to see some real-world results, not just hype and promises. So what kind of evidence should we be looking for?
Well, first and foremost, look for independent reviews from people who have actually used Emerald AI.
Okay, yeah.
See what their experiences have been, both positive and negative.
And don't just rely on the testimonials they feature on their sales page, right? Those could be cherry-picked or even fabricated.
Exactly. Look for reviews on reputable websites and forums where you can get a more balanced and objective perspective.
Another thing to consider is whether they provide any case studies or data to back up their claims. Have they published any statistics on the average earnings of Emerald AI users?
That would be a good indicator of their legitimacy. If they can show that their users are consistently achieving significant results, that would lend more credibility to their claims. But if they're vague on the specifics and only offer anecdotal evidence, that's a red flag.
Right. It's like any investment. You want to see the data before you put your money in. Another thing that caught my attention is how Emerald AI emphasizes that it's using cutting-edge AI technology that no one else has access to.
That's a common tactic to create a sense of exclusivity and urgency. It plays on our fear of missing out on a groundbreaking opportunity.
But shouldn't we be skeptical of such claims, especially in the fast-moving world of AI, where new advancements are happening all the time?
Absolutely. There are definitely breakthroughs happening in AI, but they're often overhyped and misrepresented in marketing materials.
So it's a matter of separating the real from the hype. And that requires doing your research and looking for evidence beyond what the company itself is telling you.
Exactly. And another important thing to consider is that building a successful YouTube channel, even with the help of AI, still requires a long-term commitment. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Right. It takes time and effort to create content, build an audience, and monetize your channel. Any system that promises instant results or effortless success should be viewed with skepticism.
Well said. And I think this brings us to a crucial point, which is that relying solely on AI to build your YouTube business comes with inherent risks.
Can you elaborate on that a bit? What are some of those risks?
Sure. One risk is that you become overly reliant on the AI and neglect to develop your own skills and understanding of the platform.
Right. You might end up becoming dependent on the system without really understanding how it works or how to adapt to changes in the YouTube landscape.
Exactly. And another risk is that the AI-generated content might not be as engaging or original as you expect. As we discussed earlier, if everyone is using the same templates and relying on the same AI algorithms, the content could end up feeling generic and repetitive.
And that could ultimately hurt your channel's growth and monetization potential. So what's the alternative? Should people just avoid using AI altogether?
Not necessarily. AI can be a valuable tool, especially for tasks like keyword research, video editing, and even generating ideas. But it's important to use it strategically and ethically.
What do you mean by ethically?
Well, one ethical consideration is transparency. If you are using AI to create content, be upfront about it with your audience. Don't try to pass off AI-generated content as your own original work.
Right, that would be misleading and could damage your credibility.
Exactly. And another ethical consideration is to ensure that the AI-generated content is not promoting harmful or misleading information. You have a responsibility to your audience to ensure that the content you're sharing is accurate and trustworthy.
So it's about using AI responsibly and not just as a quick way to make money.
Precisely. AI can be a powerful tool for good, but it's important to use it wisely and with a clear understanding of its limitations.
This has been a really insightful conversation. I'm feeling a lot more informed about Emerald AI and the potential pitfalls of relying solely on AI-driven systems.
I'm glad to hear that, and I think we've covered a lot of important ground in terms of critical thinking and evaluating online business opportunities.
Absolutely. But before we wrap up, I'd love to get your final thoughts on Emerald AI. Is it a legitimate tool that people can use to build a successful YouTube channel, or is it just another overhyped scheme?
It's, tough to give like a definitive yes or no answer.
Yeah.
I think Emerald AI, like many tools in the online business world,
All right.
has both potential benefits and potential drawbacks.
Okay, so let's break that down a bit.
Yeah.
What are some of the potential benefits you see?
Well, if we look at it objectively, the system does seem to offer some features that could be helpful, especially for beginners who are like just starting out on YouTube.
Like what specifically? Give me an example.
For example, like the keyword research tool.
Okay.
That could be really useful for identifying relevant topics and finding niches with, low competition. And the video editing features,
Yeah.
if they're well designed, could save users time and effort in the, post-production process.
Right. Those features could potentially lower the barrier to entry for people who might be intimidated by the technical aspects of video creation and stuff.
Exactly. And if the AI-powered script generation is sophisticated enough,
Yeah.
it might provide a starting point for creating content, even if you end up heavily editing and customizing the script to make it your own.
Okay, so there are some potential upsides. But you mentioned drawbacks as well. What are some of the things that make you hesitant about Emerald AI?
My biggest concern is the over-reliance on AI and the potential for generic low-quality content.
Right.
As we discussed earlier, if everyone is using the same templates and relying on the same AI algorithms,
Right.
it's going to be very difficult to create content that stands out
Yeah.
and truly engages viewers.
And that could ultimately hurt your chances of building a successful, sustainable YouTube channel.
Precisely. And then there's the issue of transparency. The source material is very vague on how the traffic generation works,
Right.
and there's a lot of hype around unlimited free traffic,
Yep.
which, as we know, is not a realistic expectation.
Right. Any system that promises to make you rich quickly and effortlessly should be approached with extreme caution.
Exactly. And that brings us back to the core message we've been emphasizing throughout this deep dive,
Yeah.
the importance of critical thinking and informed decision-making.
So for anyone who's considering investing in Emerald AI or any other system that promises to, automate their path to online success,
Yeah.
what are some key takeaways they should keep in mind?
I think the most important thing is to be realistic about your expectations. Don't get caught up in the hype and promises of quick riches.
Yeah.
Building a sustainable online business, whether it's on YouTube or any other platform,
Right.
takes time, effort,
Yeah.
and a willingness to learn and adapt.
It's not about finding a magic button, but about developing a solid strategy and putting in the work.
Exactly. And while AI can certainly be a valuable tool,
Yeah.
it's important to use it strategically and ethically.
Yeah, okay.
Don't become overly reliant on the AI to do everything for you. Instead, focus on developing your own skills and understanding of the platform.
So it's about finding a balance between leveraging the power of AI
Yeah.
and maintaining your own creative control and authenticity.
Precisely. And when you're evaluating any system like Emerald AI,
Yeah,
don't just take their word for it.
right.
Do your own research, look for independent reviews, and be wary of exaggerated claims and testimonials.
Ask tough questions, dig deeper, and trust your instincts.
Yeah.
If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Well said. And remember, there are no shortcuts to success. Focus on building a sustainable business one step at a time. And don't be afraid to put in the work.
Great advice. Well, I think that about wraps up our deep dive into Emerald AI. It's been a fascinating exploration of the potential and the pitfalls of AI-driven YouTube automation.
Indeed. And hopefully this conversation has equipped our listeners with the knowledge and the critical thinking skills to navigate this complex landscape.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll be back next week with another intriguing topic, so stay tuned.